Welcome all. Today we are going to discuss the concept of structures and union with C language. So before going to structure, we will recall the concept of arrays. So what we did in arrays, so we are collecting elements of same type into something called array, right? For example, if we have something called int a of 5, what does it mean? So there are 5 elements and all the elements are stored under the same variable called a, right? So if I want to, you know that all the 5 elements are belongs to integer type. For example, if I want to group 3 integers, 1 float, 1 character, so is it possible into arrays? No, you can't do it. So we are moving to the next type called structures, right? So structures, and these are the topics we are going to discuss in structures and union. So structures used to group the elements of different data type. If I want to group few integers, few float, few string or few other types of elements into a single name, I can go with something called structures. So it is a collection of variables of different data type under a single name. So structure is going to be a user defined data type. How to define a structure? So better we'll start from an example so that you will understand it clearly. So struct is the keyword and the student is going to be a name of structure. There are 3 variables we are including: grade, roll number and average. So we are going to group 3 different types: 1 character variable, 1 integer variable, 1 float variable into a group. So the group is called a structure here. So structure must end with semicolon. So here struct is the keyword, student is name of the structure, and these are the elements inside. This is one way of using it, and another way is this is one, right? So first thing we are creating a structure, then we are creating a structure variable or object. So structure elements, because structure elements are accessed with the help of structure variable, that is s1 dot grade, s1 dot roll number, s1 dot average, where s1 is going to be structure variable, right? How to create a structure variable? Structure name, then number of variables. If I want to declare 2 variables, we can give us s1 comma s2. If I want to go for 5 variables, s1 comma s2 comma s3 s4 and s5. So the first way is we can declare the structure first, then we can declare structure variable. In second step, so before you, because structure must end with semicolon, before you close the structure, you can create variable and we can close it. So in whatever way you are comfortable, you can use it. Okay. So then now we will go to syntax: struct followed by name of the structure, then data type with element, different types of elements. And in the first method we are creating variable after creating a structure. In second step we are creating a variable before you close it. And remember, structure must end with semicolon. This is the first time we are going to close with semicolon, right? So learn this. Okay. Now how memory is allocated for a structure? For example, if you are giving us int a of 5, so how much memory it allocates for a? Yes, 5 into 420 bytes of memory, right? What about for, just go through this structure. There is a structure called employee with 3 variables: id, name and salary. What is the size of integer? 4 bytes. What is the size of float? Yes, 4 bytes. What is the size of character? 1 byte, right? So, and the first variable is integer. So first, in random address we are taking as, it starts from 1000. First 4 bytes it will take for integer. Again next 10 characters will take for character array. Next 4 bytes will take for salary, right? So for this we are creating a variable called employee. What is the size of the structure? 4 plus 10 plus 4, which is 18. Just have a look on this. How to initialize a structure? For example, if we have an array called int a of 5, how you have initialized before? Int a of 5 equal to, within brackets you gave 5 elements, right? So here an initialization of structure we are going to take. For example, if we are giving int roll number equal to 101, int total equal to 50, it is wrong, because inside a structure only you can declare a variable, you can initialize it. If you want to initialize it, what you have to do is you have to create a variable, then you have to assign the values into it. S1 equal to 101, 486, 97.2. This is for first variable is for int roll number, second variable is for total, third values for average. This is another way of initializing a structure. Okay. Then what is the size of the structure? Actually, character takes 1 bytes, integer takes 4 bytes, float takes 4 bytes. So 1 plus 4 plus 4, 9. What about this? Character name of 20 will take 20 bytes. Size of character is 1 byte. Total is integer is 4 bytes, float is 4. But 20 plus 4 plus 4, 28 bytes. This is what in structure, each and every element will have its own memory location. Remember this point one more time. In structure, each and every element will have its own memory. Okay. So how to reference or how to access a structure? So structure elements are accessed with structure variable. For example, if we have two elements inside, roll number and average, there are two variables S1 and S2. Now S1, what is the size of this? 4 plus 4, 8, right? Now S1 will be reserved with 8 bytes of memory. S2 is also reserved with 8 bytes of memory. So S1, in S1 we have name, roll number and average. In S2 also we have roll number and average. Now, because if you say simply roll number, there are two roll numbers. One is inside S1, one is inside S2. If we are meaning as average, there are two average we have. One is inside S1 and one is inside S2. So the roll number and average are accessed as S1 dot roll number, S1 dot average, or S2 dot roll number, or S2 dot average. So the structure elements are accessed with structure variable dot then structure element. Structure variable or object dot the element name. This is a way to access the structure element. So we will go with a simple example using a structure, and we are including the header file. Inside main we go with, so we are creating a structure called student. So first variable I'm taking as name. How to declare name? As character array, right? And the second variable we are taking as roll number. So I'm going to close the structure, right? And first I would like to access for one student. So how to create a variable? Struct student S1. Now what is the size of S1 now? 20 plus 4, 24. So now S1 will be reserved with 24 bytes of memory. For example, if I want to access two students, what will happen? S1 comma S2. In such case, S1 will have a copy of name and roll number. S2 also will have a copy of name and roll number, right? So now how to access these elements, name and roll number? S1 dot name and S1 dot roll number. So because normally inside main, if I'm declaring something called int a, how we used to access that? Only simply a, right? But why we go with S1 dot roll number, S1 dot name instead of name and roll number? Because name and roll number are inside a structure. So the structure elements can be accessed only with structure variable dot this element name, right? Okay, now we are going to read name and roll number. How to read? Normal code and enter name and roll number. How to read name? Percentage yes, S1 dot name, and roll number is ampersand S1 dot roll number. Because this can be accessed by S1 dot roll number. For reading we go with scanf. Name and roll numbers. Here we are going to print both name and roll number. So we are going to close with return 0. This is a simple example using structure, but I will try to run this code for better understanding. Type the code. Okay. So here what we did, we are inside main, we are creating a structure with two variables, name and roll number. So okay, now I would like to go for one student. How to give a struct student S1. So how to read the input? Printf enter name comma roll number, then scanf. So what is the first input we are going to read? Percentage yes, that is name. Second input is percentage d for roll number. So how to access name? S1 dot name, because since ampersand is optional for strings, right? Then ampersand S1 dot roll number, since ampersand is compulsory for other types. Here to read it. How to print it? Printf. So I'll start with a new line. So I'm giving a slash n. So percentage yes space percentage d. Percentage yes is for name. Percentage d is for yes for roll number. Okay. Save the code and it is structed2.c. GCC enter name roll number. I'm giving as REC and 123. So we are printing name roll number as simply REC and 123. Okay, so how to check the size of it? Yes, you can use the operator called size of. Printf percentage %d comma size of what? S1. Yes. 24. How it is 24? 20 for name and 4 for roll number. That is what size is 24, right? Okay, fine. So this is a way to check the size of a structure. Again, this depends on compiler. If you go with Turbo and all the other compilers, it will take 20 plus 2. Because in GCC only we go with 4 bytes, right? Okay. Suppose if I want to go with 2 students, what I can do? S1 comma S2. Now what will happen? S1 is reserved with 24 bytes of memory. S2 is also reserved with 24 bytes of memory. S1 will have a copy of name and roll number. S2 will also have a copy of name and roll number. Okay. Now we are going to read two sets of student details, right? Okay. Enter name, roll number of student 1 better. I'll go for formatting this lesson and okay, let me copy and paste. So of student 2, yes, 2 dot name, yes, 2 dot roll number. The same thing will print it. So why to print parallelly? First I'll read both the data, then I'll print both. Right. See what we are doing here. Here we are creating two variables called S1 and S2. Why we need two variables? Since I'm going to access two different student details. So first I'm going to read name and roll number of S1 and name roll number of S2. Then I'm going to print both S1 as well as S2. We compile the code, no error. So enter name and roll number of student 1. If I'm giving as name 1 itself and the number is 101, again name roll number of student 2, I'm giving as name 2 and roll number I'm giving as 102. So name 1 101 and name 2 with 102. If I have I want to go with 5 students, what I can do? S1, S2, S3, S4, S5. If I want to go with 50 students, what should I do? Yes, you can't write as S1, S2, S3 up to S50, right? Yes, we can go with array of structures. Super. Okay, let me continue from this same PPT. Okay. So in the last example, we had discussed something called how to use a simple structure, right? Okay, now we go with something called nested structure. Okay, what is the need for nested structure first? For example, if I'm using something called again same student, right? If I want to take the complete database like name, roll number and all the things, right? So in detail, what are the personal data we can collect? Because a name is the general form, right? But generally how we will use name? First name, middle name, last name, right? So this is a simple format we are accessing as name. But what is the actual in detail content? First name. Again you need one more variable for first name. Again last name, then char last name of 20. Okay, what about middle name? Again character middle name of 20. You can declare everything into single line itself, like, so there is no confusion. Okay, then a roll number. Okay, you will not have any conflict. Roll number. Then you can say that department, character department. So of size something you can give, right? And what else we will give? Section. Again character section. Okay, then if I want to take address, what and all we will take? door number, street name, apartment or house name. Then you will go with state, country, zip code. So many informations you will take, right? Then the readability of code will become as complex because the structure itself will go for half page, right? So which will reduce the readability of code. So in such cases, what we can do is we can simplify the structure with the help of something called nested structure, right? So structure within another structure is called as a nested structure. So I can create one structure, I can refer that structure into another structure. For example, and there is a structure called nameless, something is inside, right? So I'm going to create one more structure called phone book. In phone book, we are going to take this as one element inside. So I can simply with, and for nameless I can give as first name, last name, middle name, and all the database I can give inside this nameless. I can refer that as the one variable here. So this the readability of this structure will become more actually. So structure inside another structure is called as a nested structure. So you know how we have used to access the elements of a structure, right? Structure variable, dot operator, then variable name. This is a simple example. Struct nameless. In that we are having two variables called first name and last name. Okay, and structure must end with semicolon. Then we are creating one more structure called phone book. There we need to access first name, last name, and mobile number and all, right? So we are declaring mobile number as it is, and instead of giving this simple example, like this is exactly not the scenario of nested structure. This will tell us how to use it. That's it. Okay, and struct nameless and name. What is name? Yes, it is the structure variable for the structure called nameless. If I want to access first name and last name, I need a structure variable for this structure, right? So that we are giving as name. Okay, character mobile. What is the difference between mobile and name? So mobile is the direct element of phone book, but name is the direct element of phone book, whereas nameless is the another structure. Got it. Okay. So and if I'm creating a structure variable for phone book, how we will create? Struct phone book p1. What is p1 now? P1 will contain name and mobile, right? So mobile is a direct element, so we can directly access mobile as p1 dot mobile. But what about name? Because name is the structure variable, right? So structure variable will have no value. So structure variable dot this element will give you some effect, right? So how to go with first name and name dot first name, and with respect to p1 we are going to access p1 dot name dot first name. This is a way to read this. How to, if we are reading directly from nameless, we can give us name dot f name, name dot l name, but we are referring this as the element of another structure. So you have to take p1 dot name dot f name. When this, if I want to read first name, last name, and mobile, how we will write the code? Printf, enter the first name and scanf percentage yes, comma p1 dot name p1 dot name dot first name. Again, what about l name? Percentage yes, comma p1 dot, that is you have to go to phone book, again name, then l name. In phone book again nameless, then l name. So p1 dot name dot l name. What about mobile? It is a direct element of phone book, so that can be directly accessed as p1 dot mobile, right? Yes. Okay, if I want to go with okay, before going to array of structures, we will go over some more example. I'll show you one more example using application of structures. I can say that if I want to add two distances like complex number and all the things you learned, right? Similarly, one application called addition of two distance. You know that distance consists of two factors, right? Feet and inches. I'm going to add two distance that will be stored into another distance, right? What a distance consists of what? Two parts, yes, float and inches.
So struct distance we are taking, and int feet and float inches. So you can take as int feet and int inches, or float feet and float inches, whatever is comfortable, right? You know that 1 feet equal to 12 inches. Yes. So distance 1, distance 2, sum. What about this? What is the meaning of this? There are 3 structure variables we have. Let me increase the font size. There are 3 structure variables we have. Distance 1, distance 2, and sum. So distance 1 will have a copy of feet and inches. Distance 2 also will have a copy of feet and inches. Sum will also have a copy of feet and inches. What is the size of this? 8 bytes. First we are going to read. Okay, one more thing. Distance is the keyword with GCC compilers. So if you are giving us a distance, generally it will not work. Capital D may work, or you can go with distance 1 if there is a confusion with name. Okay, first we are going to read distance 1. So enter feet. How to read feet? Distance 1 dot feet. So ampersand distance 1 dot feet. And what about inches? Ampersand distance 1 dot inches. What about second distance? Again distance 2 feet and distance 2 inches. How to add? How you will add this? Distance 1 feet plus distance 2 feet you will store into sums feet. And what about inches? Inches of distance 1 plus inches of distance 2 will get stored into inches of sum. Yes. Sum dot feet equal to distance 1 dot feet plus distance 2 dot feet, and sum dot inches equal to distance 1 dot inch plus distance 2 dot inch. Again, mathematical calculation, right? You know that 1 feet equal to 12 inches. If it goes more than 12, you will increase the feet by 1. That normal calculations. Got it? This is one application of structure. For example, if I want to add 2 different time, what you will do? So you can create a structure called time, and there you can include 3 variables: one for number of hours, one for number of minutes, and one for number of seconds. And you can read time 1's number of hours, minutes, and seconds, time 2's number of hours, minutes, and seconds. You can add a number of hours of time 1 with time 2, and you can store into time 3. Number of minutes of time 1 plus time 2 you can store into time 3, and the number of seconds of time 1 plus time 2 you will store into time 3. Again, if you go further, you will calculate the other process, right? If seconds goes more than 60, you will increase the minutes by 1. If minutes goes more than 60, you will increase the number of hours by 1. That mathematical calculations you can apply, right? Okay. If I want to go with 50 students, or if I want to write a code for the entire class, I can go with struct student s1, s2, s3 up to s50, right? So again we go for array. So what is array of structures? Yes. For example, we'll take a simple example. Struct student. There are 2 variables we take: roll number and average. So what is roll number? Integer. Average is float. So for 4 plus 4, 8 bytes. If I want to work for 50 students of the class, what I can do? I can give us s of 50. What is s of 50 now? What is s? Name of structure variable of 50 is going to be size. So in such case, it creates 50 structure variable. What is the size of each variable? 4 plus 4, 8. Now it reserves the memory as 50 into 8 bytes of memory. So like it is similar to array. If you are giving us int a of 5, what does it mean? There are 5 elements in the array called a. How to access array? And if you are giving us int a of 5, it will start from a of 0 to a of 4, that is 0 to n minus 1. Again the same process here. The accessing everything is similar to array. So now s of 50 is array of structure. So there are 50 structure variables we have, which start from s of 0 into s of 49. In the previous example we had like s1 s2. So we were accessing the variables as s1 dot roll number and s1 dot average. But what about here? Here we go with 50. So this is s of now s of 0, s of 1 up to s of 49. S of 0 will have a copy of name, roll number, and average. S of 1 will have a copy of roll number and average. S of 2 will have a copy of roll number and average. Up to S of 49 will have a copy of roll number and average. Alright. So generally we are going to access this S of I dot roll number and S of I dot average. Okay. Then how to read the input? If I want to read all the 50 students, what I will do? For I equal to 0, I less than 50, and I plus plus, percentage D for roll number, percentage F for average,
ampersand s of I dot roll number. You know that s of 0, s of 1 up to s of 49. S of 0 will have a roll number and average. That can be accessed as s of 0 dot roll number, s of 1, s of 0 dot average, s of 1 dot roll number, s of 1 dot average. Similarly, s of I dot roll number, s of I dot average, where I ranges from 0 to 49. If I want to read input for all the 50, we can give as s of I dot roll number, s of I dot ampersand, s of I dot average, right? And what about storage allocation for the array? For example, there is a we are taking the same example as employee, int id, that is one integer variable, one character array, one floating point variable. Here we are creating two structure variable, emp2. So you will have you know that array index starts from 0, emp of 0 and emp of 1 will have. What is the size of emp of 0? 4 plus 5 plus 4, so it is 13. So size of emp0 is 13, size of emp1 is 13. So the number of objects or number of structure variables are 2. So 13 plus 13, 26. So it reserves 20 bytes of memory for emp of, right? How to access these variables? Emp of 0 dot id, emp of 0 dot name, emp of 0 dot salary, emp of 1 dot id, emp of 1 dot name, emp 1 dot salary. Alright, so generally we for loop we can access. So emp of I dot id, emp of I dot name, emp of I dot salary. Okay, so we'll take a simple example for better. We'll type the code. Okay, I'll convert the same code into array of structures, right? I want to make a test for, okay, one more thing. Here if I want to go with 5 students or n students, what we can do? Instead of 50 we can go with n. What is n? You should read before, right? Yes. Here I want to make it for n students. So what is the maximum size? That depends on class, right? In some class we can have 60 students, in some class we can have 65, in some class we have 40. So let us make a common factor 65. So it reserves memory for 65 into 20 plus 4, 65 into 24 bytes of memory it reserves, right? Okay, in that how much I'm going to access, it depends. So I'll use one variable called n for number of students, right? So what first we are going to read the input size, enter number of students slash scanf percentage d comma ampersand n. Okay, so now I have to read the input for name and roll number of n students. So give something within printf, that is enter name comma roll number of how many students? N students. Let's go with proper formatting better. You know that we are accessing array, so you should go with loop equal to 0. Sorry. Zero to what? N minus 1. So I less than n I plus plus. Inside what we are going to read? A name followed by a roll number. So for name we are giving as percentage s, for roll number percentage d. See how to access this? S of 0 dot name, s of I dot name, s of 0 dot roll number, similarly s of I dot roll number, right? Excuse me. So we are going to give us s of I dot name comma ampersand s of I dot roll number. Since we won't use ampersand for strings, right? So now we read all the inputs. How to print it? Again the same for loop we need, right? We copy paste. Simply I'll print the value. Since this kind of will go with printf, right? percentage yes, I'll go with for slash n and all. Let me print the value and to the next line. S of I dot name comma S of I dot roll number. Return 0. Let me close. Hope you understood the code, right? Was it compulsory that I should create the structure inside the main? No, it is not. You can give before main also. No use again, but you can give it. For this application, no use. So what we did here, either you can give us int s of 65. Again, you will have a problem of static memory allocation issue. So instead, you can go with the other thing. You can read n, then you can allocate memory for n students. So instead of declaring with maximum size, we can read the size, and according to your size, we can allocate the memory, right? If you are giving us n5, and it allocates memory for 5 structure variable or object. Got it. So then we are reading input up to n students, then we are going to print as it is structed to. Enter the number of students. I'm giving is 3. So enter name, roll number of n students. I'm giving is name 1, number is 101, name 2 102, name 3 103. So it is printing the output name 1, name 2, name 3 with 101, 102 and 103. So can you understand the output? Yes. So this is the code for array of structures, right? So this you can do as one format, or you can declare with the maximum size, then you can read the size, then you can use it. In that you will waste so much of memory. When compared to that, this is a kind of efficient method. You can read the size, and for the size whatever you read, you can allocate the memory. Got it? So you understood how to use array of structures, right? Okay, fine. Again, the same kind of example. In that I gave a different format. I'm declaring with maximum size is 65 because the maximum count of a class is going to be 65. In that I'm going to read size, then we are going to access only with n. But here we are wasting memory. Instead I went the other method in the example. You can follow any method. Okay. So before going to it, let me explain one more program. So better, let me run the code and show you the output, then I'll go to code. str.c. Again, student details, basic student details only. Number of students I'm giving is 3. So enter name, register number and 6 marks of n student, that is 3 students, right? I'm giving as name 1, register number is 101, 6 marks, right? 4, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay, fine. Again name 2. This is a random number I'm giving this, so easy for us to cross check. Name 3. I forgot to give roll number, right? Let me reduce the font size. Okay, I gave a name, a roll number, register number, 6 marks of 3 students, right? So, and star and all is only for decoration purpose, you don't worry about it. So first we are going to print the mark list as it is, right? That is name in the same order, in what order we give input, register number and total number. We are printing in the normal order. Second, we are going to sort it, then we are going to print it. What is the sorted based on total? So 95 is the total, right? So 95 first, that is name 3 will come as the first data, again name 2 as third, and name 1 is the second. So what we are doing here, actually with the normal data we are going to do some process inside, right? So after you calculate the normal, total, average and all, so with the help of total we are going to sort it. So you will compare 540 with 480, again with 570, whatever you feel is high you will take as the first data, again the next one will become second data and third data. So how to write the code for it? Hope you are just, I'll give you a few seconds time, you have a look on the output, then we'll go to code. And don't think about that star and all the things, that is only for decoration purpose. Okay, I'll go to code. It is normal, and we are taking name as one element, roll number, 6 subject marks M1 to M6, and we are calculating total and average. We are going to close this search. Either I can give before main or inside main, wherever I am comfortable, right? Okay, and inside main, again you can go with S of 60, or you can go with the other format, right? What is the other format? You can read the size, then you can struct student S of n. There is something called temp. I'll tell you what the use of temp. Wait. Okay. So we are going to read the size. Then you are going to allocate the memory for structure variables. Then we are reading the input. So printf enter name, roll number, 6 subject of n students with 0 to n minus 1. You are going to set a loop. First percentage yes for name. Again second D for roll number. Again 6 percentage D for 6 subject marks, that is name followed by roll number followed by up to M6. Got it. So parallelly I am going to calculate total and average. Either I can do inside same for loop, or I can go with another for loop also. Alright. So as soon as I read the input, I am calculating total and average. The total S of I dot total equal to, you know, the total also we have for each and every structure variable, right? So total is S of I dot total equal to S of I dot M1 plus M2 plus M2 up to M6, average equal to total by 6. Then we are going to print. So for this decoration purpose, I'm writing all the code, you don't confuse with that. So student mark list, again name, because you know that here you can't create box and all, right? So you have to go for manual calculation of formatting to achieve these kind of format. So you may be knowing it. So percentage means slash n, name, double time slash d, and register number, total average, right? So again we are printing inside for loop. So first S is for S of I dot name. First I am printing name, again 2 times slash d, that is to match with the same formatting. Again roll number, so register number, percentage d, again we are giving 1 tab space for matching the same thing. Again total. For float I don't want to, because you know that generally float will take 6 digits after dot, right? I don't want to work with 6 digits, I need only 2 digits. So we are giving is 0.2f. So instead of default is 6 digits, it will take only 2 digits after dot. So this will print average. So after this we are printing the normal data, right? So then what we need to do it, we have to sort it based on total. You know the different types of sortings you have learned before, and I'll take bubble sort. So how you will apply bubble sort here, you have to compare total. So if this is S of 0, this is S, if this complete rows for S of 0, right? This is s of 0 dot name, s of 0 dot roll number, register number, s of 0 dot total, s of 0 dot average. What about this? S of 1 dot name, s of 1 dot register number, s of 1 dot total, s of 1 dot average. Right? Then how you will compare? You will compare because you remember the logic of bubble sort, right? You will set nested for loop. The first for loop will go from I equal to 0 to n minus 1. Second for loop you will set from j equal to 0 to n minus 1 minus I. Then you will compare a of j with a of j plus 1. If so, if the condition is true, you will swap it. Alright? Okay. In the same way, if you will compare 540 with 480, that's with proper order, right? Again 480 with 570, you will swap it. If you swap only with, how will compare it? S of 0 dot total with S of 1 dot total. Again S of 1 dot total with S of 2 dot total. So when you compare these two things, if the condition is true, how you will swap? If you swap only total S of 1 with S of 2 dot total, what will happen? 570 will go there, 480 will come here. Alright, I'll repeat one more time. Here we are comparing S of 0 dot total with S of 1 dot total. There is nothing to swap because it is with proper order, descending order. Again the next iteration you will take what? S of 1 dot total with S of 2 dot total. It is with the reverse order. So you will swap it. If you write the normal code to swap, what will happen? You will take 570 there and 480 here. So it will match with the wrong data. It will match 570 for name 2 and 480 for name 3. So you will get the incorrect data. Yes, then how to resolve it? So you have to compare based on the total, but you should swap the entire row, right? And the complete data should go as the second data, and the complete row will come as the third line, right? So you have to, so how to the solution actually? You have to compare with respect to total, but swapping is for the entire structure variable. Alright, so we got some ideas in the code. Yes, we'll go to it. Okay, that here based on total you're going to start it. Again the same for loop. I'm also using with bubble sort. I equal to 0 to n minus 1, j equal to 0 to n minus 1 minus I, j plus plus, and here we are going to compare with respect to total. S of j dot total is less than S of j plus 1 dot total. If so, we are going to swap the entire thing. We will swap S of j with S of j plus 1. S of j with S of, here what you will do, if so, you swap S of j with S of j plus 1. Right. Okay. So if you are swapping two integer, the temporary variable should be integer. If you are swapping two string, the temporary variable should be a string variable, string type, right? What here we are doing, S of j is an object or a structure variable. S of j plus 1 is also an object or structure variable. To swap two structure variable, we need one more structure variable for temp, must temp. So that I gave us, what is temp now? Struct student temp. Alright. So temp is the structure variable. So for swapping two structure variable, we are using temp as the temporary variable. So temp equal to S of j, S of j equal to S of j plus 1, S of j plus 1 is equal to temp. So if you recall the concept of arrays, this code will be like if the array name is A and you will use the nested for loop, you will compare if S of j dot S of j, sorry, let me repeat. So the same thing you will use, A of j is less than A of j plus 1. You will give us entity equal to A of j and A of j equal to A of j plus 1. A of j plus 1 equal to 10. Something like you would have written the code, right? Here we are going to compare with respect to total, but swapping the complete structure variable. Why we are swapping the complete structure variable? Else you will get the incorrect matching of the data, right? So structures are used to develop so many application programs. So you apply all the concepts whatever we learned before into structures like sorting, searching, and functions. All the concepts you can include with structures for writing the application programs. Got it? Okay. So with second part of the structures, I'll tell you how to go with the rest of the topics. So I'll chop this topic with this.